Okay, folks, welcome in. This is Babbaginator. We're currently in Long Dark. We're doing our Roll With It challenge for 2026. And yeah, here we are. So it's morning. We have.
I think I can use this.
Which lantern's the better lantern? We'll drop this one. Okay. No, we didn't finish searching. Okay.
What happened here?
Okay, so yeah, so if you're new, this is a little bit about me, and this is about our challenge. So our challenge is to survive for a randomly determined amount of time in each region. We have to visit every region. When we arrive, we roll, and we find out how long we're going to stay. We have to leave on that number, on that day. We can't leave early, we can't leave late. We have to leave by midnight. We have not found the hacksaw, so we are still looking for that. Take an extra water. Okay. Checking for hacksaws. Lurking around here somewhere. There's a toolbox, but not what we need. Is our camera frozen? Our camera is frozen. A second, let's see what's going on here. Camera. Okay. Unfrozen. So I'm a Canadian streamer based in Vancouver, BC at the moment. I am actually in the process of moving. I've spent the I spent part of today packing up my vehicle. I'm hopefully leaving Tuesday. And heading first to Saskatchewan. Oh, we were already here. First to Saskatchewan. And then, depending on news, I'm expecting sometime tomorrow or Monday or Tuesday, I'll find out whether I'm going to Toronto to start a new job. So, no, we are already over here. But it's a little weird to be preparing for a move where you don't know your destination. But there was a positive sign. I got an email earlier today from the HR over at that university, and they wanted to confirm they could contact my references. So usually that means they're either getting ready to make an offer, or they, for some reason, want to have you as the backup. So they'll make an offer to someone else, and if that person, for some reason, turns it down, you are their second choice. So I don't know which situation this is, but I hope for the best. But it is going to be kind of a weird move too, because I'll go back to Saskatchewan and then, basically go back to my family's home, and I will unpack my car, resort things, repack, because I have to prepare for the fact that this move is most likely a temporary one, as in the position's only 10 or 11 months long. It doesn't directly turn into a full-time permanent role, but once I'm there, the odds of me finding a better job increase significantly. So it could turn into a better job through connections and networking. But yeah. But in the short term, it's not justification for me to uproot completely and move everything out there. It'd be too much of a risk. So unlike sort of the amount of stuff that I've accumulated over the last 2.5 years, since I was here doing a graduate degree, for this one, it's significantly smaller footprint, at least initially. But we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. I'm hoping, though. I'm hoping there's good news. But it will be a whirlwind, because I will need to most likely start February 1st. Well, be registered to work for them February 1st. I think in terms of the calendar, it's actually, a few days after that. But because of their policies, they have to hire people for the 1st of each month.
If I can drop any of this gear.
Which is a little bit annoying. Would be nice if they had the ability to hire middle of the month. That would give me a little bit more flexibility getting out there. So as it stands, I'm streaming tonight. Tomorrow night, I'm doing my finale for my D&D campaign. I was overly ambitious on Wednesday night. I did not get near as many encounters done as I thought. Now I pretty much have to jump to the boss battle at the end. So hopefully that works. Yeah. I think I need to introduce some challenge that's not a boss battle, and then the boss battle, and I think that would probably work. But yeah, it's going to be tough to get the closure that I wanted on this one, but it's okay. We do our best. As long as it's an entertaining encounter, I think the group will be happy. But in any case, so tomorrow night I will not be on. Saturday's where it gets interesting. On one hand, I could try to be on Saturday night. Packing up the computer is usually the last thing I do anyways. And I know exactly where it's going to go in the car, so that's not a big issue. And most likely, unless I'm able to sell this table and chair, it will probably fall on the landlord to
Stuff will come in handy.
find a home for these things. They don't mind taking care of that if need be, so. I need to talk to them though about what happens if I'm unable to sell my bed, if they're okay with taking care of the cleanup for that too. But I'm a little bit embarrassed by that. It would be nice if I could figure out how to clear the apartment completely, but there's just not a ton of time. Monday, and I need to confirm this with my old roommate, but Monday, I believe, is when my old roommate's coming in and we're going to spend the evening cleaning the apartment. I will probably spend part of Monday maybe finalizing my pack. But you know what? I was pretty successful today in... I took like maybe about 70 or 80% of my stuff and packed it into the trunk, which, yeah, it's pretty good. Okay. Uh-oh. This is turning bad really quickly. I don't think we'll get the distance we want to get. Yeah, it's just going to turn bad.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
Yeah, already did that. Guess we can make more food.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, part of the struggle right now with trying to figure out what goes into the car is knowing the nature of the move. Am I moving back to Saskatchewan for an indefinite amount of time while I continue to search? Or am I moving briefly to Saskatchewan for like a couple days, repacking and taking, you know, a smaller amount of things out to Toronto. And then the move to Toronto would include things to set up an apartment, right? Whereas if I'm moving indefinitely back home, then it's more along the lines of what do I, you know, most things I can just leave for my old roommate to use. As it is, I'm giving her most of my plates. But yeah, let's see. Okay, so I have some crappy torches that we can break down. I think when you're moving and you have to get rid of furniture, there are always things that you don't expect to be difficult to get rid of. In my case, I thought offering the leather sofa for free would get it out of the way fast. It is not. It's still there. So I think I'm going to delist it tonight, relist it tomorrow so it shows up at the top. And try that. I might try to sell the bed frame without the mattress and then just sleep on the mattress on the ground. Okay, potato.
I could eat a horse.
But in any case, I am excited by the progress we've made so far on this run. Roll with it is going well. Get rid of this because it's a can and we can.
Not sure I can carry much more.
Okay. Now let's help ourselves out. It's still kind of windy. Not looking good. I mean, is there anything we can work on? Fishing hooks, some lures. Maybe not.
Never know. Could end up being useful.
No hacksaw.
Wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Hey, Roller. Good to see you. How was your day? Mine was kind of all over the place. I began the day thinking I probably did not get the job. My mother even called and asked if I had any updates, and I said I didn't, and I thought I didn't get the job. And then about 10 o'clock or so, I got an email from the HR over at the university, and they said, "Is it okay if we check your, still okay if we check your references, contact your references?" So, guess I'm not out of the running yet. So, usually they only check references at the last stage before they make an offer, or if there are two candidates and you're the backup. If the first person ends up saying no, then they might have another person that they've already checked the references on so that they could say, okay, that's our backup person. So I don't know which situation it is. I would like to think I'm the top choice, but I don't know. So I worry that what's going to happen is they're going to make me the offer. I'll get the offer while I'm driving to Saskatchewan, which would be really annoying. It's like, okay. I mean, it would be good news, but at the same time, it's like there's going to be sections where I have no real reception. So I'll be just, thinking, did I get an acceptance? Did I get an offer or not? I don't know. So, yeah, so that's where we're at. And then I spent part of the day moving stuff into my vehicle, filling up the trunk. So I fit 7 book boxes in the trunk and a lot of other stuff that I had packed into smaller containers or into containers and bags that I could fit into various nooks and crannies. And so I think I got about like 70 or 80% of my stuff is packed in just into the trunk. So it's pretty impressive. I'm really proud of what I was able to do. I need to go through. There's more stuff to pack in, but I didn't want to have anything really in the back seat at this point in time. We have a very quiet residential area. I'm not expecting anyone to come around and try to break into the vehicle. I don't think that's going to be an issue. But I also don't want to, create an unnecessary temptation or an eyesore, so. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I don't want, is I don't want them to, try to call me and it goes out because I'm going through the mountains, right? So I will, before I leave town, if I haven't received an offer before I leave town, and it's looking like Tuesday is probably when I'm going to leave, And the rate things are going, it will be Tuesday afternoon, which is not ideal. But I think most likely I'll do the apartment checkout Tuesday morning. Then I'll finally get on the road. And then I have to make a stop in Langley to visit some family friends to pick up a couple things my mother left behind when she was out here earlier. And then I think I will just have to plan on stopping much, much earlier, like Revelstoke or something like that. And I have a cousin out there that I can stay with. So, yeah. So, yeah, that's another idea. I could change the voicemail message. But yeah. Oh, joy, we have cabin fever now. We haven't even started our rest and we've got cabin fever. Where's our bed? Are we standing here too far away from the bed? Yeah, we're too far away from the bed. Okay. Yeah, so I might have to do something like that. But so at the rate I'm going, it'll be probably Tuesday. I will still be in BC. I'll just be, almost ready to cross through the mountains. Wednesday, I'll go through the mountains and get to Calgary, I think is what the plan is. And then after that, so instead of doing a 2-day trip to Saskatchewan, it's going to be a 3-day trip, which is a little bit inconvenient. And then I'll have to spend, I think, 2 days. 2 days in 1 or 2 days in Saskatchewan as I unload the vehicle and then repack for the sake of a short-term stay in Toronto if I have the job. So, because I don't need to take 8 boxes of books with me to Toronto, right? I'm going to probably be pretty ruthless and cut it down to 2 boxes of books. Yeah. So I'll take 2 boxes of books. I'll take my computer. I'll take clothes. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Only what I need to survive. Is there anything we can work on right now? Yes, we can. No oversized hair dryer. No barber chair.
I could eat anything.
Given the size of some of the apartments that I have scouted out there, looked online and kind of looked through, I suspect I'll probably take rice cooker, no air fryer. I don't really rely that much on the air fryer. It's more like a nicety. But I just don't think it's going to make sense to carry extra appliances. Even the gaming rig is it takes up a lot of real estate on whatever desk, I have to set up. Yeah, and just I like to cook. But I don't need a gigantic fridge, if it's just me. I'll weigh my options too about I think initially I will probably just get a small place for myself, you know, for the first couple months while I go scouting for a better location. Unless my aunt comes through with like a good lead on something. Because she's out there and she's connected to people that are in real estate. So sometimes she hears about people that are renting things below market rate, which would be nice. Oh, it froze again, and it froze awkwardly. Look at that. Oh no, I see what's happening. Hold on a second. I might have a slight disconnect problem. Am I still there? Hello? 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 Are we still here? Let's see here. But why did it do that? That's annoying. It like suddenly decided I had a new camera. It's like, I don't have a new camera. Okay, are we good? Ta-da, we're all good. Okay. %86 risk. Okay, we should probably grab some firewood. We'll just waste some time outside. We'll throw a few of these on there too. Okay. I'll research that. Okay. Okay, we're back again. Nope, nor failed. Failed. Come on, guys.
Come on, little fire.
Yeah, come on, little fire.
Come on, little fire. Come on.
Seriously, Astrid, you can do this. No, we haven't read that one yet. Yeah, we don't care about Frozen Angler.
Come on, little fire. I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Okay, let's cook up some more stuff here. Okay, let's go back to just making water then. So yeah, I'm feeling a little bit more positive about things here, but I am still waiting for confirmation. Feeling optimistic, I guess you could say. I don't know the timeline on things anymore because I think if they are contacting references, then it means that they'll probably talk to them Friday and Monday. Hopefully there's only 3 people they need to talk to, so hopefully by Monday they'll have caught up on that. Then they'll need to talk to HR about putting together the offer. So the offer will then go out probably Monday or Tuesday. And then I'll have a few days to kind of, make a decision. Which happens to be the few days I'm traveling, right? So basically, if they make the offer on Wednesday, whenever I pull over and have internet access or data access on the phone, then I'll be able to check my mail and see. If they try to call me, that's a little trickier. I'll have to pull over to take the call. So what I might do is, I may send them a message on Monday or Tuesday before I leave town and say, if you need to reach me, do so by email because it'll be difficult for me to take calls while I'm driving across country. Plus, there's a big time difference between us, East Coast and West Coast right now. Look at 87%. We are really... And the wind is still not fun. We are sitting at day 10. Are we still day 10? We haven't crossed over into day 11 yet. I don't like all this wind. This is not making me very comfortable right now. What do we have for flares? We just have a handful of flares. We don't need this. I'm going to say we probably don't even need to carry all these whetstones right now, so we'll drop one of them. Guess we could read books. We just don't want to do it while we're freezing to death. Okay, we're gonna read books. Read for an hour. Yeah, it's definitely not friendly for big walks. But, oops, boiled over the water. I mean, we could sneak over there. Can we keep the fire going? We'll do this thing where we hide in the car.
Perfect.
Okay, let's read for another hour. Yep, blowing out. I think the wind is about to die out. Maybe. Down to 65%. Do we feel lucky? Do we feel lucky? Warm up some teas and go. Okay, let's feel lucky here. Let's see how far we can go. We're not going into the wind. We have the wind at our backs. Maybe we can make this work. Or not. Do I see a bear coming down the mountain? No. Okay. Just gonna make it work. Hammer and hacksaw. That's what we need. If we have the hammer, we're going. Well, we can't go right away, but... We're actually protected from the wind here enough that we're warm. Amazing. Yeah, so at the moment, I'm still not decided if I'm going to be packed up on Saturday or if I'll stream on Saturday. I might try to stream on Saturday. And then after stream, pack up my computer. On Sunday morning, put a few more things in the car. I'll still have my laptop around, right? So it just won't be able to. It's not really set up for streaming. Yeah. Another flare. I was pretty nervous earlier about whether or not I was actually going to fit everything into the car. But now I'm feeling much better about that. I think it's going to be fine. Yeah, it's just my biggest headache is just going to be like getting rid of the sofa, which for some reason no one's taken yet. I think it should go Saturday though. I'm really hoping that relisting it Friday will prompt someone to take it on Saturday. The bed, I think I'm just going to accept defeat on, because I don't. I think there's just a logistical nightmare in trying to get rid of a bed and mattress in the middle of the week. You know, the best I could do would probably be to get rid of the mattress on, or get rid of the frame on Saturday. see if someone will take the frame. But I will need something to sleep on, so. And I'd prefer to get the sofa gone because it's the biggest headache. Of course, you know, the funny thing is that unless I get a furnished place, which I actually might the first month just rent a furnished place if I'm going to Toronto. And, you know, and just not worry about furniture until after. Because here's the thing, I'll move out there, but I won't get my paycheck until the end of the first month. So my funds for setting myself up are going to be severely limited, so I think it might just be the way to do it is just do furnished for a month, look for a better place. Once I have the income to do it. And then given it's you know, it's only 10 or 11 months of work, you know, I really shouldn't be looking for, you know, I want to be conservative in what I choose for an apartment. And then focus on saving most of the money, saving and investing. And then if I get a full-time position, permanent role somewhere, then I can look at like moving to something a little bit nicer. Yeah. Because what if the permanent role I get is not even in Toronto? What if it ends up being, you know, in Alberta or back in BC, you know? Totally possible. Or heaven forbid, it ends up being Saskatchewan, you know? Okay, now we're at nicer weather. Okay, I was going to shortcut past this, but actually I think we really want to know if there's anything in the car. Oh, we can also get some feathers over here. I'd prefer not to end up back in Saskatchewan, but oh, where's my hacksaw? Where's my hacksaw? I was telling someone earlier today that I feel very much like the Pacific Northwest is the closest thing to home for me. I feel, or just generally the West Coast, I feel is more of my vibe, more of my type of place. And I don't know much about Toronto. I've just visited once, and I've been to Montreal once. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah. My initial experience with Toronto was kind of mixed.
I could eat anything.
I really I like the. I didn't get to see as much of Toronto as I wanted. So pretty much I saw the area around the university downtown campus, and I was out in Scarborough, and that's basically all I saw. And I did ride the subway for a little bit, but then there was a breakdown, and so I had to like get off the subway and um, take an Uber to get the rest of the way to my destination, which was quite expensive. Not happy about that, but kind of an unusual situation that happened.
If I can drop any of this gear.
Well, yeah, speeding vehicles I'm used to from Los Angeles. So definitely. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I've definitely had my share of like crazy drivers in Los Angeles. In BC, in Vancouver, the crazy drivers are people that as soon as the snow starts falling, they have no idea how to drive. And yeah, that's definitely a problem.
Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
Nothing. Look at that candy bar. A little bit of food. $45. Ooh. And the hammer. And some matches. Okay.
Can't carry much more.
So I think the odds are good that we get a hacksaw in Desolation Point, and we definitely should make the plans to go to Desolation Point to forge now, since we have a hammer. So good stuff, guys. Good stuff.
I'm gonna need to eat soon.
Okay. We feel lucky enough to grab this. I don't think we want to reach for that. What do you got over here? Some frozen guy.
It's dusk, so I can't be far behind.
39%. Okay. Well, start a fire out here. Roast some marshmallows and sing some songs.
Come on, little fire.
Oops. Oh, I guess that's done now. We can start a fire with that.
Come on, little fire.
So one of the things I did to maximize my packing of the car trunk was once I got the 7 boxes of books in there, I knew that there was enough space at the very back of the trunk where the book boxes didn't go all the way to the back, that there was like a gap there. There was also gaps, like all around, there were little gaps wide enough to fit, let's say, a small backpack worth of stuff, or a bag, like a tote bag filled with something. And so I basically used that to then like fit in all these other things that I had. And then I folded down the seat so I could access the gap between where the book boxes ended and where the seats began. So I could fit in even more stuff into the gap and then close the seats up. So yeah, it's really tightly packed. The trunk is really tightly packed. And then I laid stuff down on the thin gap at the top between where the top of the book boxes are and the top of the trunk is, and I laid down like some suit bags in there as well. So yeah, so I feel pretty happy with my packing of the trunk. It was totally Jenga. Tetris, actually. Masterclass in Tetris. Yeah, I'm trying to get everything to fit in as opposed to take everything out. Exactly. Yeah. So originally I thought, oh, I will just pack this in such a way that I can remove exactly what I don't need when I arrive in Saskatchewan and leave most of it still packed. And then I reconsidered and I thought, no, I should just fully unpack. Then that way I can go through the book boxes and do a final elimination so that I can say, okay, these are the 2 boxes of books I'm going to take, and that's it. Getting down to 2 boxes is going to be tricky, but doable. There's a lot of stuff that is nice to have around, but I just don't think I'm actually going to have time to reference it. So, yeah. And then I've also been using like a lot of these vacuum bags for like vacuum seal bags for packing clothing and other things. So I've been using those to kind of also, maximize my packing ability. $32. Can you cook anything? Nah, we're out of things to cook. Have anything else to prepare? We do. No, I was careful about that. made certain that everything stays in place. There's nothing that's loose in there that's going to be falling out when I open the trunk. So.
Tired.
19, we're getting close to the end of this. Let's make some more tea. Do you think I should have something dangling out of the trunk when I'm driving down the highway so people can say, what's going on with that? Why is there a hand? Yeah, that's a great way to get pulled over. I don't want that. Hmm. 12. Is there anything else to work on? Nope. Where are we at with our skills? Fire starting, still a long way from 3. Cooking is almost a 4. We should probably get some more torches. Yeah, one of the things I don't like is the fact that I have a bed I like already, and I can't take it with me, and then I'll have to get another bed when I get out there. Which is to say, like, I have a twin XL, which for me is perfect because it's long. And I tend to find like a regular bed just a little bit too short. My feet are always going off the edge. I don't need much. You know, I just need someplace to lie down and sleep. So I have a queen back home in Saskatchewan, and it's just too big. I don't need a bed that big. So takes up too much room. There's no room for all the bookcases I want to put in the room, right? Yeah. Of course, I won't have that problem if I'm out in Toronto, at least initially, because I won't have that many books with me and won't be investing in a lot of furniture. Well, less of bed frame is made of drawers to hold books, or I just put a bed on top, a mattress on top of a mountain of books, and I'm like a book dragon. I'm a bookworm. Yeah, with the Y. Okay, I guess we could do some repairs. How are we doing here? Okay. We currently have this guy, the sports vest, but this is a much better option, so we'll do that. Come on, do this. Just drop that, we don't need that. And we want to wear this guy. 27 minutes to do that. Let's do that.
So tired. I could lay down right here.
Okay. This is somehow superior to this. Wool is better than cotton, I guess. We can break those down on our own time. Yeah, I think we're good. Actually, we can break that down too. I know. You see, that's why it's totally impractical to be a bookworm. To sleep on a hoard of books is not actually useful. Okay. We're good. Finally clear. So other than packing and organizing stuff, I had a break in the middle of the day where I went to campus for lunch to meet up with some friends from the area. It was nice to we have a monthly group that gets together for lunch of people that work at UBC or are in graduate programs at UBC that I know through my church community, and so nice to see some of them. I'll see them on Sunday as well, so it's not like the last time I see them, but it'd be socially just fun to get together, catch up.
This'll come in handy.
Yeah, we'll skip that. And tomorrow I go back to campus again to meet up with my former workmates as part of so the people I was working with, the team I was working with, is having a New Year's meetup with food, and so they invited me to come along. Oh, another flare. Ooh, ski jacket. That's even better, right? Yeah, it's even better. I put all that effort to fixing this, but this is actually pretty good too. Okay. And then in the after that meetup, I have my D&D game. And then I get back here. So tomorrow, really, it's just in the morning. I get to do a little bit of packing and cleaning around the apartment. Okay, so we've got everything we want, and we're just going to sleep for, we'll do 10 hours. Okay, we are at 12 days.
I need anything right about now.
So let's see, 12 days. So 12 days means we have spent 3 days here. Four more days, and then we get to go. Now let's just tear up the stuff we don't need here. I hear all that wind howling out there. Okay, let's see, what can we fix here? This guy. So where else can we go? We should probably go up to cabin fever again. Okay.
Sure getting cold.
Hello, we have shelter.
This is so cold. I just want to lay down for a bit.
-8. Oh, is Trippers also doing some traveling? Yeah.
On, little fire.
Okay. 54 minutes. Let's be productive here. Wind has resolved. We're out of cloth though. Okay. Oh, the wolves are up. 1% cabin fever.
Come on, fire. Come on. That didn't work. Come on, little fire. Come on. Perfect. I could eat a horse. Feels like night is coming.
Okay, we're going to take a short bio break. Well, actually, it's a water break because I just finished my bottle of water and I need to get another one. But yeah, let me stretch my legs for a little bit and I will be back in a couple minutes. Okay, back. Sorry about that. Took a little bit longer than I thought. Let's drop this one. Let's drop 4 of those. Let's eat these guys. And this thing. This thing. This thing. Okay. Okay. More matches. So I think we'll go for about another 20 minutes and then we'll wrap up. We'll see, unless we get raided or we find something cool or we are busy doing something. Right now, we are on day 12, going into day 13. Nope, not like that.
Nobody needs to see.
Nothing down below. Okay. It's bedtime for Astrid. One of the things I think I'll take with me if I do get the job in Toronto is I will take my dissertation notes and a few of the books that I would need to do a rewrite of my dissertation chapters and turn them into essays for a larger book. Yeah, unfortunately, some of that material is already packed away in other boxes, and it would be a pain to track down some of that. But probably can do it with what I have. Like in the boxes that I have packed up here, I think if I take those ones plus my notes, it would give me a good start. Maybe I will unpack one of the boxes that has, back home, one of the boxes that does have the Victorian technology related stuff. Or I might just use libraries, right? Sign out the books that I need. So we'll see. What to do here? Well, folks, let's tear up these gloves. I'd like to do some repairs, but I don't think we're going to get there. Just in the meantime, what we can do is we can tear up some curtains in the dark. My other monster manuals? Yeah, I've been debating like how much to take in terms of D&D books. I like having them around, but honestly, I don't reference them as much as they look good in the background is basically what it is. And then I reference them sometimes when I was making YouTube content. I would reference them more, or if I were teaching a workshop, I might, or thinking about writing some sort of an ebook on some subject related to narrative description for DMs. I'm still thinking about doing that, but yeah. Yeah. Okay, let us repair these guys. Did we leave our... No, we're going to pots and pans out here. I think we're doing pretty good.
I could eat a horse.
It's not going to make a lot of difference, but... Okay, we're at 14. That's impressive. Currently on day 12, almost day 13.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
Is there a bear out here? Hard to tell. Wolves out there. If we were dealing with the trader, we'd be here doing that, but we're not.
I need to find some place to escape this cold.
What do we have out here? Suitcase. Book.
Wait. I'm so cold. I'm warming up a bit.
Oh, now we got feathers.
I need to find food. Come on, little fire. Lucky day.
Still pretty foggy out here. I think we want to go straight that direction.
God, I'd eat anything right about now.
Officially, we are on day 13. We have 3 days left. Yep. Try this again. Better. Okay. I think this is where we want to go.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Oop. Okay, we're gonna climb up here. All these deer up here. I guess we're getting close to the time that I was going to wrap up, so I guess we should head back to the closet and close up for tonight. $13. Yeah, without the hacksaw, our progress is a little bit slow because we still need to get guts. We still need to get. We've got some saplings now, which I need to remember to set down. So we lucked out. We beach combed some saplings. That was a win. Okay. Do we need to cook anything else? Probably not. No, we're good for food. Yeah, so expect probably a stream Saturday. I think we'll make that work. And then I think next week is pretty much shot. I think it's just going to be travel. So I don't expect to be able to stream. Yeah, probably not Monday night. And then I'm traveling Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then I'll probably spend the weekend in Regina and then leave on Monday if I get the job in Toronto. Also depends on how quickly they want me there. Like, they may also recognize that this is a really fast turnaround time and maybe they just accept that I have to start in March. That processing everything might take until March. So if that's the case, it gives me a little bit more time to get settled in. But I don't know. I could probably make February 1st work if I pull enough strings and make enough connections. I think the possibility of just renting someplace for a month when I first arrive and then looking for a place afterwards might work. But it would be tricky too because I can't really sign a 1-year lease because I'm not even working a full year. So I might be stuck with someplace that is just month-to-month rent, which sometimes is more expensive. So we'll see. Yeah, sublet. That's another option. Find someone that's subletting. House it. That'd be pretty awesome. Okay, anything we can do here before we wrap up? No. Should we just break this guy down and get all the fuel we can out of him? I think maybe that's what we'll do. Okay. Ooh.
I could eat anything right now.
And it's morning. And it's almost day 14. Okay. Saving. Day 13. Should we just push it into day 14 just so we can claim it? Don't have a lot to do. Okay, so day 14 it is. So next stream, we exit Coastal Highway and go to Crumbling Highway for fun. Yay! Okay, we enter. Okay, that's it for us tonight. Let's go find. Let's read a poem and then find someone to read. Chooser. How appropriate! Seeking shelter at minus 50 degrees. Classic from the first book, The Lost Country of Sight. And very, very, very on point for TLD. Seeking shelter at minus 50 degrees. Trying to thaw, we sat by the dim warmth of the wood-burning stove, brittle as our clothes, frozen, our few words a visible fog. Outside the thin wooden walls, the wind-driven branches tapped, like blind men, or perhaps a prisoner in solitary, testing the depth of his world. Down the north gravel road, an abandoned farmhouse, full of imagined lights, whispers the shuffling of raccoons, old papers. In the gullies, ghost cars, still shining like new where they rested. Still shining like new, rested where they were thrown, miles from anywhere. And far above, stars, the color of snow, each a lone boat drifting in the dark sea. There we go. Seeking shelter at minus 50 degrees. So I've told the story a number of times about like, the inspiration for this poem really came out of a scouting winter camp that I went to as a kid, and and we stayed in a cabin, but it was just clapboard, really, like it just like the thinnest board, right? It wasn't insulated at all. It was just a summer cabin, and so the heat all came from the wood-burning stove. Otherwise, we would have frozen to death because it's so bitterly cold outside. And I had these leather mitts, and they got wet, and they froze solid. And when I tapped them against the side of the wood stove, they rang like they sound like cowbells. And like so, it was really comical. So, yeah, I have fond memories of how cold that particular camp was, and of, you know, a lot of the areas that we had permission to camp were on farmland. You know, someone in our leadership knew the farmer and had made connections, made arrangements for us to be able to camp in different parts of the farm area, and it was definitely an experience. Canadian camping for scouts feels very different than a lot of the scout camps that I would hear about from my friends in the States. And frequently for us, we just had no amenities. There was like, you need to go to the bathroom, you went out in the bush. You know, it was just like, that was it. You know, shower? What's a shower? You're not going to have a shower unless there's a lake. Then you can go and like dip in the lake. But yeah, you're not. Yeah. So yeah. Whereas like I had American friends that like when they went scout camping, they had hot running water, they had showers, they had vending machines. I was like, what is this experience? This feels nothing like, you know, camping. So yeah. So I think that's one of the reasons why I enjoy watching like Alone on History Channel, is because it does remind me of like, yeah, when we went out into the woods, it was really much more like learning how to survive out there. Hey, Rootbeard, welcome in. Yeah, we're wrapping up. I think I'm going to be on Saturday. I think I'm going to try to make a Saturday stream. Why everything's up in the air right now is I am in the process of packing up and moving. I will leave most likely Tuesday, and then I'm going to drive through the mountains to Saskatchewan, which will take me 2 or 3 days depending on how late of a start I get on Tuesday. And then the other news is still not news. I'm still in limbo, but I had some encouraging sort of indications this morning when I got a message from the HR person over at the university that I interviewed at, who asked if it was okay for them to follow up on my references. So it's like, sure, which I think means that I'm either the final candidate and this is just the last precaution that they take, or they've got two really strong candidates, and I'm the backup candidate. And they have a top candidate who might take a. So I think like the big determinant here is like this job is ultimately a temporary role. It's a 10 or 11 month role, and it doesn't transition into a full-time permanent role. And so if someone else is interviewing for this position but also is interviewing for a full-time permanent role, they could take that role, and then their first choice could go somewhere else. So, but I don't know. We'll see. So Saturday, most likely we'll be able to stream, and then basically Sunday morning I'm going to pack up my computer. And I don't think I'm going to have a chance to stream Monday because I'll be cleaning the apartment with my roommate during that day. So it's not a whole day exercise. I think she's going to come by in the evening, and so we'll just clean in the evening. And I will probably have spent most of the day like taking care of my cleaning stuff. Yeah, so most of Monday I think is just loading up the final loading up of my car. I did have a very, I don't know if it was fun, but it was I loaded the trunk of my car today with about 70%, maybe 80% of what I own. So I managed to somehow fit it all in there. I Tetrised it all together. So it's solidly packed in the trunk. Things are not moving around. So so yeah. But yeah, so next week, I don't think there's going to be any streaming next week. And then I'll probably have a couple days on the weekend where I will be unpacking my vehicle. And if I do get the job in Toronto, I will then need to repack the vehicle with just what I would need for 10 or 11 months because I don't have a guarantee for a job after that. So as opposed to what I'm transporting back, which is like the sum total of like 2.5 years out here, which is more stuff than I'll need for Toronto. So I have to rethink, like, I'm bringing 8 boxes of books back. I only need, let's say, 2 boxes of books when I go to Toronto. So that type of calculation. Anyways, that's what we're up to. So thanks for listening to the reading. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for showing up, Roller. Yeah, and Roller's going to be, and Root Beard. Roller is doing like a late night shift next week anyway, so we won't see Roller around, and I won't be around. So if I like pull into town somewhere and am bored in the late evening, I might pop onto some streams just to hang out, but we'll see. Let's do the next thing, which is go find someone to raid. So let's see who's up tonight. It feels like it's been kind of a quiet night. I'm not certain if there are just not as many people. No, we've got a lot of people streaming right now. A lot of people I don't know. I feel like after the tournament, everyone's taking a little bit of a break. Do we go with Duke Snookum? Do we go with 50 Days to Die? It's Alpha Striker. Or not Alpha Striker, that's Tier Forge. Someone's doing a custom Interloper setting run. I don't know. What do we want? Looks like I've visited Tier Forge before, so let's do that. Oh, Tier Forge is Carradine. Okay, got it. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so thank you all for hanging out. We will head over there in a second as soon as it gets set up. Yeah. Okay, so let's head over there on the raid. I will see you Saturday, most likely. So, and have fun until then.